Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 28th of January. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and I'm not here to shoot trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.subset.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES. Now, ES we've seen pretty strong overnight. And this is going to be an interesting day because finally we have tech leading the pack again. It's here. ES is just made a new all-time high, leaning fairly strongly towards seeing a new all-time high on SPX today. We've also managed to get over the current January highs and all of the December highs on the Qs. So we're within range of making a new all-time high, which hasn't been done since October on the Qs today. And actually, we're still pretty close to the overnight highs. The overnight highs should put us actually pretty close to, because I think we were up 2/3% last time I looked. That is pretty close to enough to get us a new all-time high today on the Qs at the open. That's great. RTYs and YM just trading sideways have lost their leadership over this week. And that's good because that does a retest I think was really necessary. We got not quite a new all-time high on ES yesterday, but we've done it overnight. We did get a new all-time high on SPX yesterday, and we're going to get a new one this morning. I've got to say, the higher we go, of course, the worse this either short-term or the bigger picture double top setup will look. Qs, we actually got up to, we're back on basically this flag which broke up. We've seen a bit of a pullback, and it's going up, and it's going to retest the high. That's at 636.19. Yesterday, the high was at 632.04. So that's looking pretty good, and potentially we could do that at the open or not too soon afterwards. No current divergence on the hourly chart, a little bit of negative divergence, 15 minutes RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the 15-minute chart, but obviously that's not been delivering overnight. In terms of Dia is struggling to stay above the daily middle band, closed marginally above it, but basically on it yesterday. Hourly chart, we've still got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed that hasn't made target and probably will. But I am wondering, looking at this, whether we may be seeing the highs, seeing significant possible highs on being put in on both IWM and Dia. On the daily chart on IWM, we're still on an RSI 14 sell signal, RSI 5 sell signal, and we got closer to the daily middle band than we managed yesterday. Not seeing much to suggest that, well, we may well say retest this high, but I'm not seeing much to suggest higher at the moment. In terms of the daily hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed on IWM, and we've got an RSI 14 buy signal, which is fixed on the 15-minute chart. So it's basically trading sideways. DAX is still struggling to get over the daily middle band and closed slightly below it, I think, yesterday. No, marginally above it, but basically on it. So we've not seen any. We've now been testing it for 4 days without actually managing to break above. Nikkei still holding the daily middle band. As long as that remains the case, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of the all-time high. Okay, one thing to mention here in terms of timing is that we've got bearish leaning days into the end of this week, but so far they're not delivering, and we're getting some decent bullish action. And the action I was thinking would probably take place next week is actually happening this week. New all-time highs on SPX, likely new all-time high on Qs, rotation into Qs. So that doesn't change the fact that we've got a pretty bullish leaning week next week. We've got 81% green closes on Monday, and I think it's Tuesday and let me just check. I think it's Wednesday and Thursday. No, the bullish days next week are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, with a bearish leaning day on Wednesday. All of the bullish leaning days are stronger than the bearish leaning day. So, and we've got basically 81% green closes on Monday, 71% on both Tuesday and Thursday. We could see a significant spike higher. If this current trend continues, if we make a new high on Qs, we could see Qs go significantly higher over the week next week, or if we don't, that may be a sign that we are seeing actually a high form here. So watching that with great interest. We will see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. DX made a lower low. That double bottom that had broken up with a target at 104 has failed, and we saw a significant move down. Now, I'm still thinking, well, it's still possible that we could be looking at a larger double bottom forming on the US dollar. But obviously, the other possibility is we're in an inflection point here, and the other option is that we're in starting a breakdown towards 80. That's a big difference. And looking at well, one thing I'm thinking looking at gold and silver is we could be looking at a parabolic spike ending a major bull move in these, and that is something to be wary about. One of the reasons that the dollar has been going down so much is because gold's been going up so much. And they will feed into each other as an inverted correlation. So the question is, when's that move going to finish on gold? Hard to say. That's the problem. So looking at the other currency pairs, USD, got 60-minute sell signal fix that just survived the day yesterday. GBP, sell signal, USD, JPY, buy signal, USD CAD, buy signal. There are decent signs to think that we're going to see a rally on the dollar soon, but the bigger question is when we're going to see the end of this precious metal current move. That could happen any day, but does not have to happen in the near future. So we shall see. All right, great. ZB, we've got possible head and shoulders, actual head and shoulders forming here and trying to break down. It might just fail with a move back over the right shoulder high here, but I'm watching that with interest. On ZN, we're seeing some downside, still looks like a bear flag forming. CL has gone higher and is continuing to go higher at the moment. I would say that on the bigger picture, where we may be breaking up with a target in the 68 area, and I have been talking on the bigger picture about the possibility that we are seeing the start of an extended bull move here. We will see how that goes. HO's broken up further, no longer looks like a double top here, and obviously I've redrawn the support trend line here because I don't think the old channel is relevant at the moment. RBOB, we have gone higher, and that's kind of wrecked the double top setup here. Nothing looking particularly bearish on NG. This is a bull flag channel. With 60-minute sell signals reached possible near miss target. Next obvious thing to do is retest this high here just under 4. One thing I did mention in the bigger picture today is we've still got, it's looking a little less wild here, is the difference between the March contract and the February contract was 2.7 when I was doing the webinar this morning. It's now down to about 2.5. But either way, this is a squeeze. And this, and I think this contract actually might be ending on Friday, or it could be Friday next week. But I mean, this is when we are going to see a dramatic fall in the spot price as soon as this contract ends, and that will eliminate much of the rise that we have seen on the bigger picture charts. So, and also the targets that I've been looking at that haven't been made yet on the bigger picture charts have been made. And when we got up to about 6.5. One way or another, gas prices are going to be dropping a lot soon. And really, everyone's rolled into the March contract now anyway, I think, because that's where the volume is. Okay, so looking at GC, pressing higher, would not be standing in front of this train. SI hasn't, we saw a bit of a pullback after it reached 117.5. Looks as like we're retesting that high. Could continue higher. Palladium, we are getting quite a lot of negative divergence across some precious metals now, but in this kind of move, that doesn't really matter as much. Wondering about a high retest here on Palladium, and we've got a potential IHS target, which could take us significantly higher. Platinum, all targets made. Wondering about a high retest as well. HG, we've got a very nice looking topping pattern here, and obviously housing demand is down, but data center demand is up. And apparently there is a shortage of copper worldwide at the moment because of the data center build-outs. We will see how this goes, but we are at a big resistance level, and that could hold. All right, looking at KC. KC, bit of a pullback here, but I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here next. I've got that at about the 338 area. Sugar still looks like a bear flag forming. CC may well pull down further shortly. Could be forming an IHS though, which I'm watching. But in terms of the target area I'm expecting to be reached here, it's a little fuzzy, but the top of it's about 3.8 area, and we're getting into range of that, another 10% down. And we've had a lot of 10% down. So CT, seeing a bit of a rally here, possible larger double bottom. Lumber, still quite liking this double bottom, although bigger picture, this is a counter trend move, and the bigger picture very much looks down. I don't think they're using a lot of lumber in the data centers, but they're sure using an awful lot less in housing. ZW. Nice looking double bottom here, which has broken up. Could be forming a little double top here to reverse back to the lows. Corn still looks like a bear flag forming. Soy, double bottoms broken up with a target in the 1104 area. Basically, this is all about the monthly pivot. Convert that area, and we can do 1104. Fail there. This could be a double top to take us lower. ZL, nice looking double top. Live cattle almost failed this head and shoulders here. Just need to get back to the retest of this high in about the 239 area. And HE is still within this rising channel I've drawn in with a 60-minute sell signal fixed, wondering about a move down to channel support, which I've got in the 92.8 area. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions, of which we have none, in which case I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Cheers.